The recording has started, Udang.
YouTube live stream.
I haven't logged in there. That'll take some time. I'll just upload it later. No worries.
Okay, good. Let's quickly start off with the business session. A quick update on yesterday we had the area contest of C3 and Supreet from our club has won the contest in international speech contest and Toastmaster Balaji have won the second runner-up in tall days. Supreet from our club will be representing and Balaji have won tall tales competition as the winner. So he will be both Supreet and Balaji will be representing the division contest, which is going to be held on 18th of this month. That's the next upcoming Sunday. All the best to the both the speakers. Next update, we have a new member added in the last week. She is Toastmaster Sharanya. So welcome, ma'am. And now, can we have the weekly updates from our VPE Toastmaster Sai Singh?
Toastmaster Udang, we had 2 members added today. Toastmaster Ritik and Toastmaster Sharanya are new members, so please welcome them.
Okay. Sorry for that communication. Yes, sir.
We have to, the winners of yesterday's contest deserve a round of applause.
Yeah, one round of applause we'll give for them. I think it's this in order.
A big round of applause for both the winners in yesterday's area contest. And I welcome Toastmaster Ritik and Toastmaster Saranya on board in Mekon Communication Club. Hope you have a safe and a lovely journey. With that, I request VPE Toastmaster Sai Snehal to update on the next week's role taking. Over to you, Sai.
Thank you, Toastmaster Udang. Good evening, everyone. We have a couple of roles booked for the next week. We have Master of Ceremonies booked by Toastmaster Vijay Upendra, one speech slot booked by Toastmaster Ankita, and another speech slot booked by Toastmaster Varaprasad. The General Evaluator and the Table Topic Master roles are open. Kindly contact me after the meeting for booking the same. And we have Toastmaster Spurti completing her level 1. So big round of applause for her for the same. And one important update or a suggestion to all the speakers who are giving their speeches at any time, to your evaluators, kindly please provide the evaluation form along with the project manual so that it helps them to understand the project better and give you a better feedback on the same project. So I request everyone to continue please doing the same. That's all from me. Thank you, and back to Toastmaster Udang.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sai. With that, we are good to go. We'll start with the meeting. Over to the Saturday.
Good evening to fellow Toastmasters and my esteemed guests. Leaders have known that what they eat impacts their performance. So my father eats just the thing required in order to refuel him or kickstart the week. And that is, my friends, is a plate of masal dosa from Vidyarthi Bhavan at 9 a.m. on Sunday mornings, along with busy cup of filter coffee, to top it off with a plate of kara bath and kesri bath. This is the thing which fuels him and keeps him going throughout the week. Although this is debatable, my mother has given up the hope of making him eat healthy on all 7 days a week, and has finally realized that having a cheat day is very essential to revamp and reboost the week. So I can safely say that I now know how to fix his bad days and what to give him in order to persuade him to allow me to go on a trip with my friends. And that is a plate of masal dosa from Vidyarthi Bhavan. Speaking of masal dosa and food in general, let me introduce you a member from Toastmasters who never says no to good food and trip. And I'm pretty sure who is already planning on his next trip to Vidyarthi Bhavan to relish those crispy, delicious masal dosas. A computer science engineering student from City Engineering College who is passionate about photography and aspires to be a wildlife photographer. a Triple Crown awardee, the former Secretary, VPPR, VPM, VPE, and the current president of Mekong Communication Club and the area director of District C3. Over to you, Toastmaster Udanka.
Thank you, Samina, for that lovely introduction. But coincidentally, I'm not planning to go next somewhere near to the Vidyarthi Bhavan. But in fact, I had been today morning for Vidyarthi Bhavan to have the crispy masala dosa. Okay, let's quickly start off the meeting. I see one guest. So could you quickly introduce yourself? What got you Toastmaster Torna Muki? Sorry if I pronounce it wrong. Can we have your introduction, please? Am I audible? Torna Muki, are you there? Okay, I think he or she is facing some network issues, so we'll come back to her later. Can we have the associate secretary to read out the minutes of meeting of previous meeting number 1104? Toastmaster Gaurav.
Yeah, just give me a second. So good evening to one and all present here. So I'm going to read the minutes of the meeting number 1104 held on 5th April 2021. The theme was fast, focused and flexible. And the business session was started at 6:19 p.m. and was chaired by the President, Toastmaster Udanka, and the following points were discussed. Roles open for the next meeting. The regular meeting started at 6:24 p.m. The Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Ujjwal started the meeting with an introduction of the team and handed over the charge to President Toastmaster Udanka. Toastmaster Udanka opened the meeting, welcomed the guests, spoke on the theme, and introduced the Master of Ceremonies for the day, Toastmaster Ravi Kumar. The Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Ravi Kumar, spoke on the theme and introduced the role takers. The timer was Toastmaster Ujjwal, our counter Toastmaster Vijay Upendra, grammarian Toastmaster Arundhati, and EP Evaluator Toastmaster Sai Sneh. The educational session conducted by DTM Ashish Varghese and the table topic session was conducted by Toastmaster Sandeep. Following were the table topic masters. Uh, the first speaker was DTM A.K. Prabhakara, Toastmaster Spooky was second, third Toastmaster Ankita, fourth Toastmaster Nakul, fifth Toastmaster Sai Snehal, sixth Toastmaster Shashikant, seventh Toastmaster Arundhati, eighth Toastmaster Amod, and last speaker was Toastmaster Vijay Upendra. Associate VPPR Toastmaster Spooky released the newsletter for the term Jan 2021 to March 2021. The general evaluation session was conducted by DTM Kemilbert, and the winners of the week were Best Tabletop Speaker DTM A.K. Prabhakara and Toastmaster Sai. The President concluded the meeting at 8:19 p.m. Thank you and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gaurav. Is there any amendments to the meeting? If not, we take it consider. I open meeting number 1105. Food is fuel, a topic which is very close to me. I think the MC of today has known me very closely on choosing this topic. You asked me to speak on food. I can talk a lot of things about it because I am a foodie lover and a food blogger. For those who have on Instagram, you can go check out my profile of my food blogging. I am not a person who say no to any kind of food except for two. One is the pongal, and two as the little cucumber what we get. I don't know what has kept me holding from past 21 years. Whenever my mom or my grandmom prepares those two food, the pongal and the curry from the little cucumber, I immediately rush to the hotel or restaurant nearby. The only two food which is allergic to me, but trust me, the rest all food is a complete fuel to me. You give me any food, any type of food, let it be sweet, sour, spicy, at any time, any point of time, I am ready to eat it. And I get a fuel or energy from it. I've seen many members in around me saying I'm allergic to tomatoes. I don't eat sweets in the early morning. I'm not used to eat a little bit also spicy. I'm not used to eat curds, etc., etc., etc. I wonder what gets them distinguished between these. Though even I distinguish food only with those two. But trust me, I can say I'm a proud Karnataka, and I have tasted all kind of varieties of cuisine which is available in Karnataka. My four grandparents are from four different parts of Karnataka. My mom's father is from Kalburgi side, and my mom's mother is from Tumkur district. My grandfather from my father's side is from Shumoga, and my grandmother from father's side is from Hassan. So mixture of all kind of foods I get at my home. I get it very deliciously cooked for me. From that from that khati roti which we get in the North Karnataka to the sweets which we have it around in our Malnad side. I taste everything every week in my house. Coming to the point, saying food is a fuel, it's logically correct because without food we cannot survive, right? You must have seen people who say we will stay to months together without having food, but do they really do? At least they'll be sipping some amount of water and some fruits or vegetables to make them hydrated. So this is what we have. Food is fuel. As petrol, diesel, and auto gas runs the automobiles, food is what keeps us running all day, all night. So to talk more about this food and how it is a fuel to human beings, we have a special person and a special friend of mine in Toastmasters. This person, when I call him for anything regarding Toastmaster, we talk 10 minutes about the Toastmaster and rest 15 minutes will be our casual talks. And trust me, till the date, we never keep our phone less than 45 minutes. Yes, you heard it right. 45 minutes is what our call duration is for minimum. Ever smiling guy, a go-to person with technical and all types of problems which members face in Toastmasters, a person who say no, who's never says no to any person who asks him for clarification or doubt or helping him with Toastmaster and in their personal life. Please put your hands in welcoming the VP Education of Mekon Communication Club, Toastmaster Sai Snehal Reddy. Over to you, Toastmaster Sai.
Thank you, Toastmaster Udank, for the wonderful introduction. And you never hesitate to introduce me well whenever you get a chance. I'm grateful for that. Thank you so much. They say when you have a very the favorite meal of for you, whatever your favorite meal is, and if you start your day with that, your day runs the best. I'm not sure because I've never focused so much on it, but I definitely want to try that. I'm sure you all want to. Please do let me whenever you get to do that. Food is what you think. Food is what you eat and drink to give your body energy to move and think. It is fuel for your body, and you improve how well the body works by feeding it the most nutritious fuel. It is important to think what you eat because what you eat is what you are. Lately, a lot of research has been taken place about how what a person eats impacts his performance. We all know that a healthy diet is important for our body, but did you know some foods can boost your productivity by nourishing your brain? Yes, your brain. Certain nutritious food feed your mind and create a long lasting energy to help you stay focused and stay productive all day long. We eat foods that provide energy and stimulate mental performance rather than lead to a mental crash. If you ask me why is this, aren't all foods processed in the same rate? Most of what we eat is broken down to glucose, and glucose can either be released slowly or at a rapid pace. When you eat something which has sugar, it gives you an instant sugar rush and gives you that high to perform the required task at an instant. But the energy levels drop down after a while. But if you eat something which breaks down the food into a slow, processed, sustained rate, the energy lasts a long time, which help you to stay productive throughout the day. They say eat greens and vegetables, not because they're just healthy, but also they give you energy to run throughout the day. And I thought they were just kidding to make us eat greens, but no. In the same way, how the food we feed ourselves determines the efficiency and the energy levels. The same way we put the food in the brains in form of ideas, thoughts, or inspiration also determine the person you are or the person you're going to be. We are all here because of a single man who came up with this brilliant platform where we get to meet new people, learn leadership, speaking, and communication skills, and also take inspiration from others' lives through their speeches and help fuel our journey. After all, the fuel will help you drive a mile further than you thought you could. All this wouldn't have been possible if not for this wonderful platform which has united us together. And I'm sure we are all grateful to that person. Toastmaster International is a non-profit educational organization which was started by Ralph C. Smedley in the year 1924 at YMCA Santa Ana, California, currently headquartered at Colorado. The, the purpose of this club is to help members improve their leadership, public speaking, and communication skills. And Toastmasters International has helped people from diverse backgrounds become more confident speakers, communicators, and leaders. The organization, which started as a single club with a few members, today the membership exceeds 365,000 in 145 countries, serving through its 16,200 member clubs. Mekon Communication Club, which started in the year 1999, is the fourth oldest club in India. For the benefit of the guests, a typical Toastmaster meeting consists of three sessions. The prepared speech session. In this session, the speaker gets time to prepare for a speech on the subject of their choice as per the guidelines of the manual. The second session, the table topic session. In this session, the table topic master will choose the speakers randomly and give a topic to which they have to respond impromptu within 1 to 2 minutes. And third, the feedback session or the general evaluation session. This is a session where the speeches, the proceedings of the meeting will be evaluated and the feedback will be given to better ourselves because there is always room for improvement. To help us carry on with this meeting, we have a few role takers. I request the role takers to introduce your role as I call out your name. Timer, Toastmaster Gaurav.
Good evening once again. So, as a timer for today's meeting, I'll be noting down the time taken by each speaker, and I'll be sharing my virtual background with green card when it comes to 5 minutes in a prepared speech session, a yellow card for 6 minutes, and a red card for 7 minutes. And coming to the table topic session, I'll be sharing my screen with a green card for 1 minute, a yellow card for 1 minute 30 seconds, and a red card for 2 minutes. And coming to the evaluation, I'll be sharing my screen with a green card for 2 minutes, yellow card for 2 minutes 30 seconds, and a red card for 3 minutes. I'll give my report at the end of the session, and I request all speakers to pin me in the top because I'll be sharing my virtual background so it will be visible for you guys. So thank you, and back to the audience.
Our counter, Toastmaster Vijay Upendra.
Good evening, Toastmasters. Welcome, guests. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. The purpose of our counter is to note any overused words or filler sounds used as crutch by anyone who speaks during the meeting. Words may be inappropriate interjections such as and, well, but, so, sounds like etc. I'll give my report during general evaluation. Thank you, and back to you, MC of the day.
Grammarian Toastmaster. I'm sorry, I missed. Sorry, Toastmaster Nakul.
Good evening, Toastmasters, and welcome guests. Today I've taken up the role of a grammarian. Grammarian is one who pays close attention and listens carefully to the language used by the speaker. Grammarian encourages good use of language and takes note of all bad or incorrect grammar usage. Today's word of the day is gallant, Gallant. Meaning of gallant is bold, brave, chivalrous, courageous, fine, grand, heroic. Example use of the word gallant. The gallant soldiers lost their lives so that peace might reign again. A second example, he died at the age of 82 after a gallant fight against illness. Third example, despite fierce competition, she made a gallant effort to win the first medal of the championship. I have added the word of the day along with examples in the chat for cross reference, and hopefully most of the Toastmaster use it today's speech. Thank you. Back to MC Saisner.
PP Evaluator, Toastmaster Udanka.
Good evening once again. As a Parliament Procedure Evaluator, there are few rules which you need to follow, and I'll be noting down those rules. And if anyone violates it, I'll just point it out. The rules are kindly refrain talking about sex, religious, and politics. Kindly turn on your video throughout, unless until you have bandwidth issues. Do not leave the meeting while there is a speaker speaking on the screen. If you have some emergencies, drop in a message in the chat box and kindly leave the meeting during the transition of the speaker. But I'll be giving my report during the general evaluation. Back to Master of Ceremonies.
Just the way you have COVID warriors, these role takers are the warriors who support us for the smooth functioning of the meeting. Please give them a huge round of applause. Hope you're all fueled well. Let's get started with the first session of the day, the prepared speech session. The first speaker of the day is attempting his level 2 project 1. Before I call the speaker, can I have the individual evaluator Toastmaster Sandeep read out the project guidelines?
Thank you, Sai. I will read out the guidelines. The purpose of this is a speech, speech of understanding your leadership style, and the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. The purpose statements of this speech are: the purpose of this project is for the member to identify his or her primary leadership style or styles. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of his or her primary leadership style or discuss leadership styles in general. Back to you, Toastmaster Sai. Good luck to the speaker.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sandeep. The speaker for today is an electrical engineer and is currently working as a design engineer in RGB SI. He is the current secretary of Mekon Communication Club and is presenting his speech today with his speech titled Situation Leaders. Please welcome Toastmaster Shashikant with a huge round of applause. Over to you, Toastmaster Shashikant.
Good evening, sir. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you're clear.
Leadership is not just a position or a title, it's in action and responsibility. Good evening, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmaster, and welcome guests. How many of you agree that leaders are born, not made? Raise your hand. Okay. How many of you agree that leaders are made, not born? Please raise your hand. How many of you being the admin for WhatsApp group? All of us, right? That means all of us are leaders, isn't it? It doesn't mean that if you are a admin of the WhatsApp group, you are a leader, or it also doesn't mean, it also means that if you are a company CEO, you are a leader. It is more than what we expect. Let us assume that I am a hockey fan. I read out around 54 books of hockey, and I seen so many hockey videos and live matches, and I know each and every rule of the hockey, and I know how to play it, how many players are there in hockey, and everything. Do you think that I can become a Indian women's hockey coach like Kabir Singh in Chakra, India? No, right? We need some experience. You can be a successful leader only if you possess some style and some five styles of leadership and some experience. It doesn't mean that this is everything. There is something more about leadership. Sometimes we have to be authoritative for the people who don't listen to us. Sometimes we have to just to communicate to the people who listen and who can understand us, and they complete their job. We have to be nice to some people when they understand their job and perform better. There are totally 8 types of leadership skills. They are bureaucratic, authoritative, affiliative, innovative, democratic, affiliative, coaching, and altruistic. I want to share one incident of my experience. 5 years back, I was a electrical site engineer. There, I used to handle the electrical installation and wiring work. Suddenly, what happened? One of my colleagues, who was a maintenance engineer at one of my client's place, had to take a sudden leave due to his personal reason. So he used to handle the mechanical work. He used to handle the maintenance work, and in a few days there was a rapid maintenance at the plant. Yeah, it was a steel plant, and the processes are called the plants of the. It was a steel industry. The processes of the steel industry are called as plants. So he was about to take a leave. So my boss, what he did, he asked me to handle the situation, and it was a 3 days maintenance work. The plant would be shut down for around 3 days, and we have to attend all the breakdowns and maintenance work and repair as well. My boss has assigned this task to me. I was not much familiar with the maintenance project, and it was a new challenge, and I have accepted it. Because I had a time constraint, I planned in such a way that I finished the job in a given time frame. I learned that I have a pace setting ability and team handling ability as well. And the biggest task is to handle the technicians and electricians. There I realized I also have the team handling ability, and I learned that I have a coaching ability as well. I was able to plan, and we have formed a team of 50 members, and in that we have and was told to complete the task. The 50-member team is divided into 5 groups, and in every group there will be a senior technician leading the group, and I was overall leader of it, of all the 5 groups. But difficulty was I would be alone in the site place, and and mobile was not allowed due to security purpose. And I was a spoke for the whole process. Spoke means single point of contact. We have to go for a maintenance office for any kind of communication. That discovered my democratical leadership skills, allowing others to take a lead at a certain time period. I had to look after the safety, attendance, requirement of food, and the material required for the work, and technical skills as well. I was able to complete the task in a given time frame. Now, looking back, I realized that I had 4 leadership styles built into me naturally, and those are pace setting, coaching, democratic, altruistic. I need to develop some leadership styles to complete my leadership ability and skills. From the experience and also of my 7 years of experience, I have realized that it is not easy to handle the people with one or few other leadership styles that we have. We have to be adopted different types of leadership styles according to the people and situation. We have to continuously improve the leadership styles that is the thing I learned, and I have some natural leadership styles inbuilt to me, and some I need to improve and learn on continuous basis. Leadership is not one-time act. It is that we have to develop on a continuous basis. Back to MC.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shashikant, for your view on the leadership and also a natural leader you are. Thank you. Now let's move on to the second speaker for the day. The second speaker is attempting his level 5 elective. Can the individual evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Emubert, read out the project guidelines?
Thank you. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. This is a level 5 project, leading in your volunteer organization. The purpose of the project is for the member to apply the skills needed to successfully lead in a voluntary organization. And the purpose of the speech is for the member to share some aspect of his or her experience serving as a leader in a voluntary organization. Time 5 to 7 minutes. All the best to the speaker, and back to Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, sir. The speaker is a reliability engineer during weekdays and a Toastmaster when he's not working. Mechanical engineer by qualification. He's a dual member and he's recently completed as 9 years as being a Toastmaster, and he's also the president of BTM Toastmasters. And a small fact is pursuing 3 Toastmaster educational paths at the same time. And today he's presenting his speech titled Serving to Lead. Please welcome to DTM Subramaniam with a huge round of applause. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sai Snehal, for such a wonderful introduction. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Everyone can lead because everyone can serve, says famous leader James Struck. When leadership is when serving is the basis of your work, I think everyone can be a leader. Toastmasters, my Toastmaster today, and my dear guests, serving to lead and leading to serve was the tagline for the district-sponsored Toastmaster Leadership Institute for the last 2 years when we were part of District 92. Toastmaster Leadership Institute is a training workshop kind of session organized by district leadership to train future leaders who are the club officers. Toastmasters, as some of you might be aware, I have served as a district officer, both as a area director and as a division director for 2 years. And also I served as part of Program Quality Director Extended Committee, being responsible for training and education. Toastmasters, this project, it's about sharing my own experience and my learnings as part of being a leader in a volunteer organization like Toastmasters. When I took over as an area director from 2017 July to 2018 June, there were 5 clubs and I had opportunity to charter 2 clubs. In fact, when I took over as area director, I was just then relinquished my role as the president of a President Distinguished Club for the first time. Till then, I was only worried about helping my own club members, and not worried about helping other clubs, going beyond my club. When I became area director, my perspective or my view expanded from being a member of its individual club to around my area. In fact, if there is one lesson which I learned the first time before I took over as area director, is that when you are a club president, you are member of and you are part of only your club. Whereas when you take over as a area director or a division director, you are not only part of your club, but also the entire district. So that way, my horizon, it expanded from being a club member towards an entire district which comprised of my fellow members across different locations. Some of the qualities which were important in this role were perseverance, being good in one-on-one communication with the club officers, as well as being able to help or do my bit whenever members needed me. This helped me to learn and better my own communication skills, and also to be passionate towards club member needs whenever they needed me. It was all about being present, sometimes as a one-man army whenever they needed me, and also to help others so that they can also pursue their leadership opportunities whenever any occasion comes. Like for example, when I conducted area contest, I had an entire team from the my area so that they can take up the roles of contest chair or event chair. So that way, I was able to help my fellow Toastmasters to explore further leadership opportunities outside the club and to get visibility. Well, area director role was all about my individual capacity to reach out to others and help my fellow members. I got an opportunity to become division director in the term 2018 to 2019. Well, it was a growth of me as a leader. Well, area director was all about serving as an individual, as a leader in individual capacity. Division director was overcoming this and growing beyond leader as in an individual capacity. It was all about helping your team, leading your team in different circumstances, and being there for the team. It's also about enabling your own leaders whenever they need you with your experience and whatever your experience you have, and also giving opportunity to grow other leaders. As most of us know, Toastmasters is where leaders are made. I personally believe that it doesn't look good on my part if I don't give opportunity for others to grow and become leaders in their own good standing. I'm very happy to say that when I finished my area director term, in my area, I will not say that I was responsible, but I'm very happy to say that I was able to contribute for 5 members to become area directors in the entire district. Toastmasters division director role is all about helping your team members and also learning to let go of doing everything yourself. It's also about delegating whatever you can do, and if others can do even a small bit, it is always better to let go and doing the art of delegation so that others can learn by doing the same thing which you are delegating it to them. For example, if you are doing a division event, you don't have to be present everywhere. You appoint an event chair and let them do everything on their own with a little bit of guidance. Toastmasters. Here, I learned people skills, people management, and also the art of delegation. In division director terms, there was also a time when I had to identify some people who had a potential to grow into future roles. For example, some people were very interested to become district officers, and some people who are already district officers, they were able to grow beyond their division area director role and become division directors. I was able to guide my successor so that they can very successfully settle in their role. I would just like to share one more point of my leadership is that being a district officer and leader in an involuntary organization, I also received a feedback, a 360-degree feedback. And one point which I would like to point out is that I received a feedback that I'm very flexible and adaptable as a leader. So I was able to adapt myself and use different leadership skills to which suited a particular situation. With that in mind, I think I would like to recommend that if you ever get an opportunity to become a district officer, please take it. If you want to be a leader, first you have to be a follower. So as Toastmaster says, servant leadership is one of the most important things which we learn as part of this great organization. Thank you very much. Over to Toastmaster Sai Snehal.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Subramaniam, on your beautiful insight on Serve to Lead. Also, he's nominated for the PQD for the next term, and good luck to you, sir. Thank you for that. With this, we come to the end of the first session, the prepared speech session. Moving on to the second session of the day, the table topic session, a session that brings out the best of the members while thinking on their feet. The table topic master for today is a very kind hearted person. She's a science graduate and she's largely been active in the inner wheel for the last 14 years, the largest women's voluntary organization in the world. And she has headed the last year as a district chairman. And in Mekong, she served as a sergeant at arms, secretary, and also as the associate VVPR. Please welcome Toastmaster Lalana Murthy as a table topic master for today. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sai Snehal, for that very nice introduction. Good evening, Toastmasters, and welcome guests. The table topic session helps us to develop our impromptu speaking skills. It also helps us to hone our listening, thinking, and organizing abilities before we speak on any topic. Through this session, we aim to give an opportunity for members other than the speakers to speak. The time limit is 2 minutes, and the timer cards will be displayed appropriately as mentioned earlier by the timer. I'll be calling out names randomly, and now I'll start sharing the screen. The first topic is one Indian language should be common to everyone. Toastmaster Varaprasad.
Madam Toastmaster, table topic master, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Yes, I think this is I would say the need of the topic which is debated from quite long in India. Yeah, we are happy, all of us, saying no, diversity, common number, you have an unique and diversity, and our strength is being diverse, still connected as a country. But I always wonder, especially when I was there in Germany, there's a hotel owner, the lady. I was surprised with her communication. Even the word called yes, no was never used by her. And she used to say noi noi or ja ja in German. I was wondered why she don't want to even utter a single English word. And then I spoke to the other guys and then even in office colleagues in Germany, and then realized that no, they had so much because of their times where they had a real fight or the conflicts with England and then language, and they ensured that their language is grown up. And being an engineer, I always wonder, or I always think that they are not switched to the language of other country to see as a growth. But being German itself, they really grown up in a technology. They're able to come up with different things as a developed country. And even with the minimum population or the lesser population, but they're able to really stand as a strongest economy, one of the strongest economy. So being this or even traveling to other country like France or Japan, I realized that more or less they all stick to one language and they were able to still come out very strong. But why not India? So this question bothers me. I was about to think when Lala showed this, oh, can I talk about this? And then she picked my name. I strongly say yes, it's really needed. Yes, one language, but tough in India being because we have multiple mother language, different languages we have. However, I was going through, or I would say I instead of Hindi or any other language, probably Sanskrit can bring us, but it's really tough to imagine that such a big population to get one language. But still we need to have our own language, to think in own language, contribute in own language, and use the foreign language for communication purpose and other purpose. Otherwise, many talented people were not able to express, not able to clearly put their idea, and then we are losing that talent to the mainstream. So I strongly recommend as a country, or I humbly request all of you to voice it out whenever it comes, think on it, try to push, and I will also do that. And I wish one day we will come back with clearly, all of us stand for one language. Thank you. Back to Toastmaster Langa, madam.
Thank you, Toastmaster Varaprasad, for your perspective on this. This debate has been going on since a long time, and we really don't know whether Hindi is going to be the common language for all of us or any other language. Anyway, let's see what time has in store for us. Man is born free but lives in chains. DTM MU Butt.
Madam Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. Man is born free, but he ties up himself in chain. That is an aphorism which I read in some book some time back, that everyone is born free, and with the free mind and free thought process. But what happens really is, as we grow up, we get into, develop so many paradigm perceptions which are based on our past experience or our understanding or whatever, that it tends to bind us in chains. So that's the one thing which you'll have to try. If you have to grow, you have to overcome that chain and come up. I always remember the story which has been oft repeated in our club, also in other places, like the elephant which was tied with the chain, which tries to free itself. Because what really happens is, it doesn't know that it is a free bird, free animal. In the early days, it gets tied up because of the fear of, it was a very small animal. But later, when it grows, it can free itself, but it simply doesn't do. For the simple reason that because its thought process has changed that much. It's actually, that's why as a persons grow, human beings grow, we tend to forget that we have been born free. We get chained by various thoughts and processes, pressures from here and there, from family, from friends, from environment, from organization, wherever. And we bind ourselves in knots, trying not to understand our inner self and grow ourselves, being a free human being, which we are born with to start with. So the challenge for us is to come out of that binding chain and live a free life, so that we can live to our fullest potential. That is the challenge which we have to live with, and that is a challenge which we have to aspire to, really live it up and achieve in our course of our time. Back to Table Topic Master.
Thank you, DTM MU Butt, for that nice response. What would you genetically change about humans to make them a better species? Toastmaster Gaurav?
Just give me a second. Okay. What would you genetically change in a human being? So I read these interesting facts. Okay, so I'm more into dogs. I have two dogs, so I'm more into dogs. I like to learn a lot about them. So I read this article where dogs have this power to sniff a person and figure out what mood he is in. For example, if I'm in a very bad mood, if I'm in an anger mood, if my dog sniffs me and he gets to know that I'm in a very bad mood and he shouldn't talk to me right now. And I've observed this in many dogs as well. So if my parents are in a bad mood, my dogs will go to them, and if they're in a bad mood, they'll come to me. So this is what happens most of the time. So I would like to give this power to a human being, because nowadays I've seen so many couples and so many, let's not be couples, even a parents and a son or a parent or a daughter, they fight regarding, like they may be in a very bad mood, and that when someone goes to them and have a conversation, it might be a very wrong time to talk to them, and that might lead to one misunderstanding to another, and they may start fighting. So I like to give this a genetical power to human being so that they can sniff a person. I know it sounds disgusting, but by that they can come to know whether the person is in a bad mood or a happy mood and have their conversation. So that's it. Thank you, and back to the table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gaurav. Incidentally, yesterday was supposed to be some National Pets Day, so maybe your take on the topic is apt. If you could choose one rule for the entire world to adhere to, what would it be? DTM Amitabha?
Yeah. Okay. If you could choose one rule for the entire world to adhere to, what would it be? Yeah. Okay. Obviously, one rule is difficult, but there are many things that I think would be very nice, and it could make the world a better place. Okay. So one certain thing would be to be considerate to everybody. Everybody, I think, needs to be respected. Every human being needs to be treated with dignity. So I think we can start from there, and especially in Toastmasters, respect is one of the most important value systems. So that is something that I would hope that in the world we can practice. I think, as I say, charity starts at home. So we don't need to go around preaching this to everybody. The best thing would be for each of us to practice this in our own small circle, be it our family, our friends, our colleagues. And good things always are infectious. If you do a good deed to somebody, I'm sure they would be encouraged to do the same to others as well. So just by setting an example, each one of us can, I think, make this world a slightly better place. Okay, so I think that's certainly something that would be nice for everybody, because one of the things with respect is that when you respect somebody, then they find the space to really do what they would like to do, express what they would like to express. Okay, otherwise it becomes a little difficult for people to behave or work in a natural way. So I think that's a common courtesy, I would say, that we can extend to everybody. So over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, DTM Amitabha, for that very nice response. I completely agree with you. Respect and service to others is definitely a trait which we should try to inculcate. What is that one need or want that you want to achieve this year? Toastmaster Sandeep? Toastmaster Sandeep, are you here?
And good evening. Yes, good evening, everyone. Good evening, table topic master. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I thought I am lost. What is that one need or want that you want to achieve this year? I think every time I have always wanted to learn something. That is one thing which it's a cliche to say, because every time you learn, learning is a continuous process. It is not a one-day affair. So for this year, I would like to learn something which helps me in business, working in my office. One thing that helps me to become a better person in my family circles or in my friend circles. So there are a lot of in professional life, I would like to learn some financial aspects. Like I am a basic fundamental learner of GST in my office, because I do my work is estimating projects, how much capital cost, how much production cost they need to run the plant, and I do the financial projections like any other MBA student. But I am not a MBA or chartered accountant. I am an engineer. So I have always tried over from web pages from here to there. I have learned some fundamental things about financial accounting, GST, but people think me or people want me to work as a professional GST consultant, because GST is very vast subject. I think the people who are familiar in the accounting circle, they would agree to this point. But being an engineer and trying to learn by reading articles or books at a later stage of my life makes me very difficult. But this is one thing I would like to improve upon. Every day I try to gather some information from the people who work in similar field, from the people who are our clients. So these are the things what I always try to gather the information and help our people to do our jobs. So I would like to keep on learning the things of financial accounting, GST, or anything that I have not read in my BTech. Back to you, madam.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sandeep. Financial information or accounting, as you say, is an expertise anybody would like to have. And I'm sure we can all approach you if we have any problems or anything. Thank you for that. Life is a test that I did not study for. Toastmaster Vijay Upendra.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. Good evening, Toastmasters. Welcome, guests. Life is a test that I did not study for. I agree with this statement. I am a BCom graduate. Hardly I worked in accounts department. I worked in inventory in the stores department, nothing to do with accounts at all. I worked in electrical engineering company as a purchase officer, nothing to do with accounts. I came to financial services, sold all types of instruments, no accounting at all. Presently, estate planning, no accounting at all. Throughout my life, what I studied and what I did, it was totally different. It is possible because once we make up our mind to acquire the knowledge required in a specific field and move on is what makes a person better person, instead of sticking to a particular segment and worrying too much and getting into all sorts of nonsense in life. It is better to introspect and develop skills wherever it is required and move on in life to be a successful person comparing to the previous stage. The comparing complex should not be external comparison. It should always be internal comparison. What I was yesterday, what I am today, what I was 10 years back, what I am today, what I would like to be henceforth should be the goal, so that there are so many stations before reaching the destination. It is always better to look ahead, not to worry about the past. Thank you, and back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vijay Upendra, for that very nice response. This is an age where we have to learn, relearn, and unlearn. So I think that's exactly what has happened in your case. Every new beginning comes from the end of another beginning. Toastmaster Nakul.
Good evening, Toastmaster. Thank you, Table Topic Master. Every new beginning comes from the end of another beginning. Okay, so there is a in life we have to open doors what we can control, not open too many doors and have either opportunities or situations go against you and taking too many things at once. So I believe that you have to close one opportunity and then go to the next one, so that you gain the experiences what you have learned doing a specific task, and then go do a new opportunity differently. If instead of doing parallelly all different things, a little bit of everything, I personally feel that it is better to take if you want to do more tasks, you can take small tasks and do repeatedly different tasks, rather than taking 5 or 6 different things and not giving justice to all of the different things. This is very much applicable for us for me in business, where I have to wear different hats. If I don't solve every employee's problem on an immediate basis, it will all come to my table, and I'm basically doing 10 people's work. So I believe in the statement that you have to delegate and close one particular task, then only move on to a next task. Thank you. Back to table topic masters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nakul. With this, we have come to the end of the table topic session. I hope we all enjoyed responding to the various topics. And I would now like to hand over the charge back to MC Sai Snehal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lalana, for that interesting table topic session. With this, we come to the end of 2 sessions, and let us now break for 5 minutes before we start on with the final session for the day. The time now is 7:21. We will meet at 7:26. Let us assemble for the next session. Thank you. Gaurav, would you like to really do that?
I just said whatever came to my mind. I know it's very disgusting. That's why I said I know it's disgusting, but yeah.
Fortunately, the video has got downloaded.
What is that?
The video.
Huh?
Okay. The video has got downloaded, but the account has logged out.
I can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Like it drops suddenly.
Okay, now?
Better.
Okay, as I told you in starting, while we start the meeting, I was downloading yesterday's recordings and you logged in here so that I got logged out. The account has logged out, but the video is downloaded. Why there is 2 videos?
Once the
with
download
same length?
once the download starts and you log out, it doesn't matter. It will continue downloading.
Okay. And why there are 2 videos with the same timings?
One is gallery view, one is speaker view.
Okay.
I had changed that setting long back.
Udanka, you have eaten Avenue Road dosa, 1 a.m. dosa.
Yes, Nakul. You name the famous places in Bangalore, you get I have it.
One more, I forgot. You have to stand in line ready for 2 hours to get half dosa near Jainagar.
Siddhappa.
Siddhappa Hotel.
Yeah.
Near Corporation. Siddhappa Hotel.
Not bad. You eat non-veg also?
No. Pure veg.
Pure veg. So limited still.
Yeah.
Nice. The grammarian role is even more tough. I thought it is easy. You have to first listen, figure it out, figure out the problem also. It's very fast.
Yeah, of course, it is even difficult than G role.
So then, Shashikant, can you take up G for the next meeting then?
Yeah, sure.
Wonderful.
Nice marketing, Sai.
Had to do.
To do grammarian role,
Sai.
first you need to know English.
Sai.
Yes, sir.
Team is ready.
Sir?
Team is ready, I said.
Oh, wonderful, sir.
When are you going to take?
Your voice broke again, Udang.
When are you going to give me the speech slot?
When am I going to?
Speech slot for me.
Next week, I have 2 speech slots booked. After that, first week of April only. Sorry, May. Is that fine?
Done.
I'll talk to you later on this. Okay. Has everyone assembled back?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Just I want to know how to go about this. This is second time I am attending.
Okay.
So as you said, it is like first speaker, next table talk speaker, and then evaluation.
Yes, sir.
That is the method. That is the system you are doing.
Yes, sir. We follow this in all the meetings.
So, like, I have to become a member to attend your this one or some this one.
Sir, to give the speech slots and to take up the roles, yes, you have to be a member. So I think the RBPM membership Toastmaster Ankita is in contact with you.
Yeah, she sent the form also.
Yes, sir.
So, like, I have to fill it and send and pay. What is the fees? She told something like 3,000 plus some 570 for per month.
Yes, sir. 3,000 is the initial fees what you'll be paying towards the Toastmaster. With that, you can go to any Toastmaster club across the globe and take part in the meetings. And 575 is what you pay monthly fees. That you'll be paying 6 months in advance. Like we have the payment cycle of every 6 months. So 575 into 6, you'll be paying all together now, along with the 3,000.
Like when are you starting this this one not that's virtual, that's on the stage talks still not.
So we had actually plans of starting off with today, but as we can see, the situation is going. The cases are going rapidly increasing day by day. So on that note, we have little more postponed the online offline meeting. Will as soon as the situation comes to the control, we'll start off with the hybrid meeting.
Because I'm a doctor, I can speak with the patients and other people. Like on the stage, I got a little nervousness. That's why I want to improve.
Sure, sir. To improve your nervousness, this is the best match. So I think let's continue our chat. We'll talk briefly about this after the meeting. So let's quickly resume with the meeting now.
Okay.
Over to you, Sai.
Welcome back to the meeting. Let's get started with the third and the final session for the day, the general evaluation session. The general evaluator for today is an electrical engineer who retired as a general manager of Mecon Limited. He started his Toastmaster journey in the year 1998 and is a founder member and the past president of Mekon Communication Club. He has helped and mentored over a dozen of Toastmasters to reach their DTM journey and has conducted over 50 educational sessions for all the members across the district. And one thing that he told me long back and which deeply instilled in me, he says, keep things simple. It may sound simple, but it is the most complicated thing to do, but also it's the best way to present anything. Please welcome the General Evaluator for today, DTM A.K. Prabhakara.
Thank you, Sai Snehal, for that generous introduction. Yeah, been some kind of a person, somehow nobody can stop liking you. It's that kind of a person, and thank you very much for being that. The general evaluation right away. Let's start with the individual evaluators of the project speeches today, so that we have time to really evaluate the evaluators in the ballot. So before we start anything, I would like to inform you if our Sergeant at Arms has already opened the ballot. Please vote for the best table topic speaker and best project speech speaker. I'll give you 10 seconds. You should be quickly done. I consider it is done, and I'll move on. The first of the speeches today is going to be evaluated by Toastmaster Sandeep. I request Toastmaster Sandeep to give his evaluation, please.
Good evening, General Evaluator, Toastmaster DTM A.K. Prabhakara, and Speaker Sasikant, Toastmaster Sasikant. So today's speech, I think the couple of things what I really liked most was about the sincerity of the speaker, by the way he represented himself, neatly dressed and already prepared to give the speech. So there was a smooth transition. He wanted to, I think I could see some kind of preparation and rehearsal before the speech. So that was one good thing. Opening of the speech was very good. There are a couple of questions asked, and there was one quotation. There was reference to WhatsApp admin, and there was reference to a famous movie, Chak De India. So all these things, I think, helps the speaker to gather the audience attention, and I think it was done well in the opening of the speech. The body of the speech, it included the personal and professional anecdote from the speaker, wherein he was made in charge of a maintenance schedule during the shutdown of the plant, and he achieved the target in time, and he could learn the 4 natural inbuilt type of leadership he has, and the couple of other leadership styles he wanted to improve upon. The things what I would request Toastmaster Sasi to work on in the next speeches is to bring in some kind of vocal variety. I know speaking in front of camera to the people on a virtual platform, these things are very difficult, like the physical gesture, eye contact, and the vocal variety. It becomes very difficult, and I think we need to learn this process and work on. I would suggest, I have already said in one of the evaluations that you please try to see the YouTube, the speeches, like we have the international speech contests or any of the winning speeches of division or district, wherein how they speak. Like they speak in front of mobile or camera as if it looks lively or something. They don't have to stand back, and the face is not visible. So those things are not there. So I would request you to see those videos, and you can learn upon them and implement in your speeches. Um, the content of the speech, I would have liked if you could have made it more humorous. I know you give a lot of humorous one-liners during the meeting or of the meeting. So I would request you to bring in that part of your individual characteristics into your speeches. You can make them little humorous, so that uh, I know it is always a difficult job to gather to keep the audience attention for 5 to 7 minutes. And if you want to do that successfully and smoothly, you have to sprinkle some kind of humor in the speeches or some story so that people would love to hear that. If you make it more mechanical or electrical, it may not work. So you have to make it more human and more emotional so that you can keep the audience intact. The conclusion, you directly came to the quotation that the leadership is not a one-day affair, it's a continuous process. I understand that was a very good statement and very impactful statement, but if it could have been more transitioned smoothly, it would have given a more impact to the audience. So this is my take. I think I have seen you performing in this club since a long time, and you are a very much regular member. I know you are going to improve and give more better and best speech in front of us. Back to you, and good luck to you again.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sandeep Kumar Balyar Singh, for that nice evaluation. It was a little more elaborate, but you pointed out something like your analysis was excellent in terms of how it was positive, upbeat, and in fact it pointed a way forward in the process. You in fact you said that you can a technology way you pointed out by saying that you can see some of the YouTube speeches by some of the world champion speakers, and that's the way towards it. But I would like to add one extra one here. Whatever you pointed out is right. As far as the speaker is concerned, today the tool is available in the recording itself. Tomorrow they are going to put a link in WhatsApp, and the speaker himself can watch himself there and verify what you told is right, and then improve upon that and build on the strength that you have pointed out, and then overcome the weakness that you have pointed out. It was an excellent evaluation. Let's give a round of applause to both the speaker and the evaluator. The next speech, project speech, the evaluator for the DTM Subramaniam speech by DTM MU Bhatt. Mr. DTM MU Bhatt, please.
Serving to lead and leading to serve. Amazing speech, wonderful speech delivered. I know one of the speeches which will be remembered by me for a long, long time, which was informative, persuasive, and inspirational all at the same time. Thank you, Mr. Subramaniam. Wonderful speech. Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guest, and Subramaniam in particular. Let me just evaluate a speech under what the project calls for and what exactly where you really excelled. Whether anything you could have done differently. These are the three areas. The first thing is about the objectives. This is about the speech about the leadership role in a voluntary organization, where voluntary organization is different from conventional organization because the motivational requirements are different. There is a money is involved. Here you have to inspire by recognition and reward. And how you come up, how you become a leader in that and share your experience and prepare a succession plan and also get a 360-degree evaluation of your own leadership style from the members. This is what the project calls for. And I should congratulate Subramaniam that you have come up trumps in all the objectives of the speech. First of all, your speech organization itself was very good, and the choice of subject also was good, because that you cannot beat Toastmasters organization as a volunteer to beat as a volunteer organization, because here the members are as important as the leaders are. So that is the fundamental requirement in a project of this kind, where you have to be aware of the contribution of individual member, and that you should bring out in your speech, which you did really amazingly well. That's I really like the way how you develop the leadership qualities in others, how you involve them in the area contest. You are area director, you are president, you are club, you are area director, you are division director. you are in the extended committee of the PQD, that makes you the fittest person to talk about leadership in a voluntary organization. You are the best person to talk. And we in Mekon Communication Club always look up to you as a person, one man person, and to know about the finer points of Toastmasters, of the rules and regulations, because you lived your role all along. That is something really amazing. And as far as your speech, particularly today, is concerned, I was very much impressed by the organization also. You started with that anybody who can serve can lead. A wonderful way of starting the speech for the type of role which you are going to explain. Wonderful thing. You also concluded by relating to servant leadership, which is the essence of Toastmasters. And in the body, you talked about all your objectives of the speech, like how did you do, how did you identify the talent in the organization, how did you develop the succession plan, how you we are successful in creating 5 area directors because of your understanding the strengths of the individuals and motivating them. Recognition and reward are the fundamentals of a voluntary organization. You brought it out so well. So overall, I find that you have met all the objectives of the speech. You brought about everything in a very informative, persuasive, and inspirational manner. One of the nicest speeches I've heard, but as for the areas of improvement, honestly, I do not have any major suggestions to make, except that in the beginning, you are some slightly, some side of you are tentative in the beginning, which you took over. Maybe a bit more fine tuning of your delivery style with the more rehearsal will bring this paper to an entirely new level. I think this is one of the finest speeches I've heard from you, Mr. Subramaniam. Congratulations, and keep giving such speeches to you in future also. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, DTM MU Bhatt, for that I would say, a very generous and evaluation, I would say. But your analysis was on par. Excellent. And what you pointed out is even more important as far as recommendation is concerned, to the recommendation to the speaker. That is, he can verify his delivery style. Perhaps the content was really, really very well designed, I would say. The delivery style needs some sort of an improvisation, and that can come from using your word, maybe repeated rehearsals. And the style, I would like to quote here Sammy Davis Jr., a pop icon of American pop icon of yesteryears. He says, "Get the steps right, style comes to you later." The steps in dancing has to be done repeatedly to get the style. The style is going to be there inside you. You have to allow it to evolve. It is not an overnight stuff. The style has to come gradually, and that has to be cultivated by repeatedly watching yourself, listening to yourself, perhaps to. It's about the style we are talking, not the content, the design of the speech, everything was in place. But this is the evaluation portion. I would like to recommendation portion only I'm going to talk. It is more to hold up the capability, potential of the speaker is excellent. It is there. That little thing called getting it in place, as far as the style is concerned, that needs to be tuned. And he's going to, because of his sincerity and devotion to Toastmaster, he's going to serve Toastmaster for a long time with distinction, I would say. For that kind of quality of the speech, the content, the quality of the evaluation, both the evaluator and the speaker deserve a big, big round of applause. Then we move on to the TAP G team. I don't want to call it tag team. They are leaving out the parliamentary procedure evaluation every time. I would like to coin a new acronym and call it TAP G team, like Guruji team, Chatterjee team, Banerjee team. Let us call this TAP G team. T for timer, A for accounter, and P for parliamentary procedure evaluation, and G for grammarian. So let's have the evaluator, this support roles taken up by different persons today. And let's start with the timer, Gaurav Badri.
So the time taken by each speaker are as follows. These urgent terms took, that is Sanjana, took 2 minutes 10 seconds. President Toastmaster Udanka took 4 minutes 10 seconds. Secretary's report was for 2 minutes 5 seconds. And coming to the Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Sai Snehal took 14 minutes 10 seconds. Coming to the speakers, the first speaker, Toastmaster Sashikant, took 6 minutes 52 seconds. DTM Subramaniam took 8 minutes 20 seconds. And the table topic session was for 16 minutes 30 seconds, and three speakers crossed 1 minute 30 seconds, and four speakers crossed 2 minutes. And coming to the evaluation, Toastmaster Sandeep took 4 minutes 30 seconds, and DTM MUBUT took 3 minutes 40 seconds. And the general evaluation session is total for around 7 minutes for now. So thank you, and back to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Gaurav, for that compact evaluation of taking the overall situation, reviewing the overall situation as far as time is concerned. Let's move on to the R counter, Vijay Upendra. Please, 1 second. Please vote for the best evaluator so that the ballot counting can start.
Good evening once again. The account is from our counter. Sanjana 2 hours, Udanka 1 hour, and repeat I twice. Gaurav 3 hours, Sai Snehal 3 hours, Nakul 1 hour, Sandeep 4 hours, Shashikant 1 hour, and he repeated 3 times I. MU Bhatt 2 hours, DTM Subramaniam 5 hours, Lalana Murthy 1 hour, Varaprasad 3 hours, and repeated 4 times I. Amitabha 1 hour. That's all. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Vijay Upendra, for that keeping track of the R's and M's somewhere in, they say in net practice, it's what Sunil Gavaskar says, we develop all the bad habits. So this kind of crutch words usage is one that needs to be tracked in order to ensure that we don't pick up those things, at least keep it to the minimum. Thank you very much for that. Then we have Parliamentary Procedure Evaluator in Toastmaster Udanka Arun Jain.
Good evening, everybody. We had a couple of exiting of members during the meeting, but after dropping a message and during the transaction of the speakers, that was really good. And there were no member talking about sex, religious, and politics. Overall, the meeting went on smoothly. Back to you.
Thank you. The overall meeting went on smoothly, but some people walked in, walked out. Some people were missing from the picture itself for some time, and that needs to be solved. And I think that it starts from leading by example, I suppose. So please ensure that once a meeting, a person is inside, he stays there, and the proof of his staying is that that person has a picture in place. I think the internet broadband problems may not be that much nowadays. Maybe you need to track on that. It is not the like classroom that we're holding people together to one place, but it at least we should have the decorum to ensure that the persons present once they remain there. I think there needs to be sorted out that it's not like a drama that you play the role and get out of that stuff. The presence is the one that really is going to impart the meaning and the stuff to the meeting, and that's how we learn together. It's a together. It's like a Vedic mantra. It says, "Tejasvi navadhi tamastu." We are going to become brilliant by being together. Ma vidvishawahai sahana vavatu. Let us be together. Let's not forget that very basic thing, and that is the one that keeps everybody going and keep learning together. It's being together, and that's what is the Vedic Shanti mantra says, and that is valid for Toastmasters as well. That's what I feel. It's a general remark I'm making. Then we have grammarian Toastmaster. Nakul, please present your evaluations, please.
Good evening. Thank you, General Evaluator A.K. Prabhakar sir. I would trade off table topics as a better role than grammarian. It is more tough. I'll do my best to give the evaluation. Firstly, I want to start with bad usage and then cover good usage. During the first speaker, Toastmaster Shashikant, there was a overuse of the word "and" as a conjunction. It is ideal to use "and" as to connect two phrases, not to use "and" throughout the speech. Coming back to a good use of words, delegate, delegation, leadership, potential, euphemism, precious, on par, improvise, and decorum. Good use of phrases. To be a good leader, first be a follower. One should look ahead. And an all-rounder review is all the speakers spoke in a patient manner and articulated the message very well. Thank you. Back to General Evaluator A.K. Prabhakar sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nakul. I would like to point out here what you said. There is no such thing as bad usage in Toastmasters. There is always not so good usage.
Okay.
What we do is that our mother tongue is not English. Let us be frank about it. And we are I have heard Americans also make mistake. They also have grammarian. So we not so good usage. So it's something like saying that some person, instead of saying that you are wrong, we would say you are not so right. That's a better way of putting it, and it's a positive way of putting it. But you did a good job. We are all learning all the time together. It is a mutually supportive ambience. When it is pointed out, please take it in the right spirit and move ahead. Thank you. Let's give him a round of applause for doing that great job. Fine job. That's about the backup role takers who did a really precise job. Some of them were really gallant in pointing out with some courage whatever was true. They held up the mirror against each one of the speakers. Now I'll move on to the Sergeant at Arms, Sanjana. Sanjana Prabhanjan is a special person. I would say perhaps one day the way she speaks is very, very impressive. She's not there. She's missing my compliments to her today. Why I say that her words are measured and always in place. It's a gift. If she were to become somebody like a college lecturer or something, that very complex topics when it is being explained with such precise terms, length of the sentences, measured, time, the students just worship the teacher or lecturers. They understand everything. That's the way that she speaks. And every time she speaks, and more than the fuel, she talked about the food as fuel. She talked of food being used as incentive to achieve something. Today's theme was in a different perspective, and she talked about it. When it comes to president, he talked about the various kinds of food that comes because of parents' lineage coming from different locations in Karnataka, and his likes and dislikes. And he didn't talk much about the fuel, but he talks what memory brings to him as far as memories goes with the food that is prepared at home or he faces every other day. It's a different perspective he brought. But when it comes to the master ceremony, Sai Snehal Reddy, he did a fuel, and then not just as he talked about the science side of the energy, and he talked about performance. And it comes to when it comes to performance, not just physical, it comes to mental as well. More or less, he touched that. The first thing that goes off the mind when energy goes down is about our thoughts really go haywire here. We will not be able to focus. And that, when you are hit with fever, for example, it's the thought that goes haywire. All you need is to recover, want to feel normal. And that is what he's talking about. The performance is both. And he talked of such things. And the whole theme was given different perspective. It was one that way a bit of a good experience and learning experience, I would say. The perspective was so different from different points of view. It was so well done. For that, all the persons, Sanjana Prabhanjan, the president, and Sai Snehal, the MC of the day meeting, they deserve a thunderous round of applause. Then comes the table topic master. The master was in her elements, and the in her elements, when I say, is most of the topic were abstract. And the most important thing she did as a table topic master, and that's what has to be followed. She never gave a topic which had a built-in position that a speaker can take. Built-in position is advantage, disadvantage, far or against. It was not there in place at all. She just washed each topic in Dettol and ensured that it is only a topic. And that made people take position beyond the topic and expand it into some kind of a speech. It's a rare way of positioning the topic to the individual speakers. See, she talked about Indian language. It's a matter of fact. It made Varaprasad think a lot. So similarly, she took it around like that, different positions. And then it was for the speaker to explore the topic and come out with his opinion or view or perspective on that. She made everybody think, the speaker as well as the listener. For that, she needs or she deserves a really very, very big round of applause. I think I have covered everything. On the whole, I would like to bring about one point. It is very general, but it is more associated with the one remark, one point that was made by Master Ceremonies today, that Mekong Communication Club was not started in 1999. I would like to put it into each one of your mind that it was in 1998. The wrong thing that is going again, it has got into the print of a latest newsletter also, in which it is said that Mekong is Mekong Communication 20 years. In the page, big letters it is there. It is 23 years. I want to make it very clear. This is one. And I think it is slip of the tongue, or I heard it wrongly. Next one, I'm going to point out that it is the number of members all over the world is about 260 plus or 2 or 3.5 lakhs. It was told it was 2.65 lakhs or something. Maybe I made a mistake. It was a slip of the tongue by the person who spoke. I will verify it tomorrow in the recording. But it is something that you cannot, one should be alert about when speaking. The best way to give this kind of statistics is that it has a membership of over 3.5 lakhs all over the world in 140 plus countries, and it has got 16,000 plus clubs all over the world. That gives you some kind of an elbow room to generally talk, not trying to remember the exact number. That helps. This is something that I want to point out as a general view of the whole thing, because I have been hearing the numbers go haywire here and there. On the whole, the meeting, in spite of the drama situation of people going in, coming out, and still the meeting was of very high quality. That really speaks good of our club, and it makes me keep attending the club each and every meeting, and it makes people come and join our club as well. Thank you very much for the opportunity. And with this, I come to the end of my 97th GE role. 97th time. I'm 3 short of the century. So with that, I would like to hand over the control back to the Master Ceremony, Sai Snehal Reddy.
Thank you, DTM AK Prabhakara sir, for that gallant evaluation and helping us improve as a 360 speaker or role taker every time. Fuel is food for the body and mind, but you know what is fuel for the VP education? Members taking up roles and attending the meeting, and also making sure the meeting ends before the scheduled time. With this, we come to the end of today's meeting and my role as Master of Ceremony. Until next time, signing off. Over to the President, Toastmaster Udang.
Thank you, Sai Snehal, by adding the fuel to the meeting and having the meeting done. And thank you, AK Prabhakara, for doing this for the general evaluation for the 97th term. Hope you complete your 100th GE role in my term. I'll be honored to give you that opportunity, sir.
Most of the time, I would like to add, most of the time I have been invited to be a GE because nobody else took it.
I agree, sir. So with that, coming to the results of today's session, the best evaluator goes to our ex-president DTM MU Bhatt. The best table topic speaker. Actually, I was astonished to see this result. All the speakers have got equal number of votes, and this person has got one extra vote, which has made him win today. It's none other than Toastmaster Varaprasad. The best speaker award goes to the one who educated us about how we have to take up the roles in the district level, DTM Subramaniam sir. With that, a small note from my end. Do visit all the restaurants, all the small hotels, big restaurants near your locality because you don't know where the food is delicious and the food is really energetic to you. With that note, I end meeting number 1105. Can you all stay back, turn on your videos and stay back for a minute for a group photo? Krishnamurthy sir?
Murthy's ice cream. Ah, one more.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you all. Happy Ugadi.